All right, when you guys are ready, questions for our student athletes?
Garen, tell me about your new double play partner here.
In Mason? I guess everybody knows that he's a pretty good player by now, and I'm excited to be up the middle with him. And if that's how the defense aligns, then I'm going to embrace it, and we're going to have a good year together, so it'll be fun.
Sure. He had a huge scrimmage the other day. Obviously had a really good year last year. When you watch him at the plate, generating the power that he does, what do you see, what do you admire about his approach?
I think he just has a really good feel for his swing. It's pretty unique compared to a lot of college-level hitters, and just watching him go about his business in the cages every day and how he translates it to on-the-field success is pretty impressive to me.
Mason, are you expecting teams to pitch you differently this year after they've seen what you've been able to do?
Yeah, I think they'll scout me a little differently this year, especially I'm in a new role. So I'm excited for it, but I'm not scared of it. So expecting a whole lot of new stuff. But I trust the guys around me, and I trust the scouting report, so we'll go to work.
Where do you anticipate being in the lineup?
I think I'll lead off or hit third, one of the two.
And Chip had mentioned that you, Garen, and Amelia would kind of be guys behind Mason, and that if they pitch around him, that's where it's your guys' job to make him pay, kind of like Kiko did with Chase getting on base because they pitched around him. Is that pressure?
You can call it pressure, but I think pressure is a privilege, and we've all done a good job to earn the spot at University of Arizona to hit in the top of the lineup. So I feel like we're in a good spot mentally, and I guess we'll play it one at bat at a time and see how it goes.
Garen, you had really bad luck last year. Your BABIP, I think, was 250. How do you kind of process that mentally? Like, I know I'm doing what I'm supposed to do, but I'm just not getting the results.
Yeah, I think last year for me was definitely a hard year. But that being said, I learned a lot about myself, and I think going out and kicking ass in the summer helped me a lot mentally to get back to kind of my thought process and my routines that made me good and able to play here. So I think just kind of refocusing and resetting the mentality and getting back out there this year. It's a new year and a new opportunity.
Tonka, what was the first impressions with the new pitching guys, and what have they done to your mechanics or anything like that?
I love those guys. Vance and John, they really are the best in the business, and I'm about 100% confident there's no way that there's 3 pitching coaches in the country that are better than Vance.
What have they changed for you?
They just speak my language. I consider myself a very analytical person, and I've always looked into metrics and data and biomechanics, things like that, and they speak that language, John and Vance both. They both know it super well. They're both on the same page. They're both unreal communicators. They have unbelievable knowledge, and they're able to communicate it to you in an effective way, and they know how to get their point across to everybody. It's not always about just knowing it. How people say you don't really know something until you can explain it to a 5th grader. They can explain it to anybody. And, they've definitely made some tweaks, some mechanical adjustments, figuring out my motor preferences, figuring out what my body does best, and leveraging those motor preferences to be the best version of myself. And they're definitely, those guys go home at night and they think about how they can develop each of us, and they really care about us, and they're great.
Yeah, Clark, you were one of the guys that they kind of sought out from the portal to be able to add to this. What did they see in you that they liked, and what have they maybe changed about your game?
They like the capabilities with using the breaking ball in all counts, and they made a lot of adjustments to kind of the way we attack hitters and pitch design, like using the curveball more effectively in certain counts and chasing more vert on the fastball instead of more run, and that's made a big difference in my game.
And the other day, the analytics guys put out a video of all the swings and misses from one of your outings where I think you had 12 strikeouts and 4 2/3. Do you feel like that's something you're capable of doing anytime you're out there?
I think so, yeah. I'm really confident in my stuff right now and taking the same game plan out to the field every time and just following through with my plan.
What was the pitch that got most of the swings and misses?
For the most part, it was a slider and then fastball as well.
Has your velo changed at all since you've been here?
It's gone a couple ticks up from the fall and out of the spring.
So where are you at? Mostly?
Low to mid 90s
Nice.
right now, yeah.
I know that with you, Tonko, they were working on figuring out how to get your slider to generate more swings and misses. Is that right? What's that process?
Yeah, well, we've been using 2 different breaking balls. Kind of last season, I lost my breaking ball. I think after my arm injury, had some minor mechanical changes, and it affected my curve or my slider. So we had to start relying on a new breaking ball that I wasn't as familiar with. This year, we kind of are using both breaking balls, one harder, a little bit bigger, one slower, a little bit bigger, one harder, a little bit tighter, and been able to leverage the 2 of those off the fastball and the changeup, and just kind of we've changed around pitch usages a lot, throwing, maybe the bigger one earlier and the tighter one later, or vice versa. Just understanding pitch tunnels and throwing a harder, I've changed my grip on it a little bit, and I think overall it's the best my stuff's ever been.
For Mason or Garen, how much has the impact been on the hitters of the changes in the pitching coaches and what they're doing with the pitchers that you've been facing all fall and spring?
I think just like being in the box and seeing these guys, like I've faced Tonko for 3 years now, and I'll just use him as an example. Like Tonko's good at obviously having the high ride fastball and then the tight slider. So guys like him and like Vance and John have been able to really get what's specific for each guy's each pitch. Like they've been able to kind of like bring out the best version of themselves. It's hard to explain without being in there and seeing it, but like he's talking about his fastball, or Clark's talking about his fastball being 90 to 94, whatever it is. It plays up because like they figured out ways to like make it more spinny or make it like tighter, so you can't really see it as good as a hitter. So just adjustments like that has made a big difference for them.
Jason, how have things gone for you moving from second to short?
It's an adjustment. I mean, I played short when I came here, and then I had to slide over, obviously, but it's an adjustment, and I'm working on it every day. So I think I'm getting better every single day. And
How's your arm? I guess you were a little banged up in the fall.
yeah, we're back to 100%. So we're playing every day, and it's great.
As a hitter, where do you want to improve this season compared to last season?
I want to improve in chase rate. I'm chasing a lot, and I always have struggled with that. So I think I need to tighten up the zone and swing it more of my pitches rather than their pitches. And I think I can see a lot of improvement in doing that.
In the numbers that they've shown you, any specific pitches that you're chasing more often?
No, it's just going to my scouting report, my game plan, and sticking to it, not getting out of that.
Mason, when you see your name on a bunch of preseason lists and things like that, and knowing that you're going to be a target for a lot of teams, what crosses your mind, both as far as, you've worked so hard to get here and now the work begins as well?
It's not any different than if I was like last year coming in the lineup as a freshman. I'm still playing my game and I'm still me, so I'm not changing. It's just it's cool, but I'm just worried about myself.
For any of you guys or all of you guys being picked to finish ninth in the conference, what do you make of that?
I like being the underdog. I mean, to me, it doesn't really matter. I know for a fact that the other people, they have no clue what weapons that we have. And we talked to Vance a lot about it last year over at Boston College. Talked about how they were picked ninth to finish in the ACC, and then at one point they were a top 15 team in the country because no one had any clue what they actually had. And I think that's going to be another trend with this team this year. People don't know the weapons that we have in the bullpen, don't know the weapons that we have in the lineup. I think we're going to surprise a lot of people.
Clark, what was the size of the stadium in Wichita compared to what you have here in High Corbett?
It wasn't too different for the most part. I mean, there's a ton of seats at X Stadium in Wichita, but I mean, it's no different pitching here.
More meaning like the dimensions of the outfield, just since High Corbett tends to be one of the bigger parks in that regard.
The ball definitely carries more out in Wichita. It's a lot more windy. So, I mean, me personally, I feel like I have a little bit more of an advantage here as compared to Wichita. But, I mean, still, it doesn't really affect anything else. But the dimensions do come into play on certain days.
Clark, how would you summarize your journey as a college athlete?
Unexpected and a little crazy. It's obviously fifth school in 5 years, and I didn't think it would happen, but I mean, it happened for the best reasons, and I couldn't be more blessed to experience everything.
How did you pick like whatever your first school was, and then, like how did those steps all kind of happen?
Well, I signed out of high school to St. Mary's College in California, and it was kind of the best fit for me at that point. And then just it wasn't really the right fit anymore after my sophomore fall, and I went to junior college because the D1 to D1 rule, you couldn't sit out. That wasn't there. So I went to junior college out in Vernon, Texas, and there was about 4,000 people out there. And then played the spring of 21, and then our coach got fired, and then I had nowhere to go, so I went to another junior college in the same conference, Grayson College, and then committed to Wichita State that March of the spring, and then graduated from Grayson College, and then played last year at Wichita, and then everyone got fired there, and then portal once again, so here I am.
Is this the closest that you've been to your family?
Yeah,
So
yep,
they live up in the Phoenix area.
yeah, about 2 hours north.
Yeah, okay. Is that nice?
Yeah, it's very nice. I mean, it's nice being home, being back in Arizona, and it's a good place to be for last year of college.
And your dad either was or became a knuckleball pitcher. Is that something that you ever thought about? Did he ever try to?
Not me, My brother, yeah, but my dad always threw knuckleball just growing up, and he threw it competitively in all levels, but I never tinkered with it at all or anything.
Younger brother, older brother?
Older brother, 2 years older.
And how far did he go in baseball?
He played 6 years of college,
Okay.
yeah.
Tom, you talked about the depth of this bullpen and what you guys bring out of the pen, but for this pitching staff as a whole, how much of an advantage is depth? Even though you guys want to eat up innings on your own, how much is an advantage is knowing that if your stuff's not there, you have someone ready to go and someone ready to go and someone ready to go?
Yeah, absolutely. I would tell you in my 3 years here, this may not be the most talented pitching staff that we have, but it's definitely, I think, the best pitching staff, the deepest pitching staff, and we've been really well developed. I think we lost a few big arms from last year's roster, TJ, May, Barraza. Those are 3 extremely talented arms with high-level stuff. And I think this year, like I said, we may not be the most talented roster on paper, maybe not the most raw talent, but I think Vance and John have really found a way to get the most out of every single guy, find the best version of every single guy. And 100%, I think this is the deepest pitching staff that we've had in 3 years. And like I said, it's awesome to know that whoever one of us can hand the ball off to, that you have faith in the next guy. And I think we're really going to get the job done this year. But, yeah, you can go out there and give everything you got for 5-6 innings, maybe even longer, maybe shorter, who knows. But whoever you hand it off to, it's a guy with good stuff. It's a guy that can get out of any situation, and they're going to compete for us. It's awesome.
Mason, what was it like to play in the Cape?
It was hard. It was a tough place to hit. You can ask Aaron about it. He had a better summer than I did, but it was a tough place. I learned a lot. I definitely got off that plane coming back here as a different person, a different human. It was a fun place, but I struggled. But I think I came back in the fall and learned what I had struggled on there and fine-tuned it here, and now we're back to playing college baseball with my school, and I think I'm better for it.
Could you ever see a point where, like, college baseball used wood bats instead of metal? And if there would be an
I don't
advantage to that?
know. I honestly don't know. The Cape is such a tough place to hit, just with the lights and the backdrops and the way the ball flies. It's so much different than here, so it's a different game. I think it'd be more like a pro game, honestly, but
For anybody, freshman or young player, either pitcher or batter, who's impressed you through the fall?
I would
and
say
the
for
spring?
me, throwing to Richie Morales. It's a really tough at-bat. I think he's going to be big for us this year. He can jump you on the first pitch, or he can draw you out for a long 7-8 pitch at-bat and let the guys behind him see a lot of pitches. And he's a gamer. He's going to play a lot in the infield for us. He's got a great glove, great arm. He plays with some swagger. And but as far as an at-bat-wise, he's a tough at-bat for sure.
Anybody else?
I was gonna say Brendan Summerhill. It's always for me a tough at bat. I mean, like Tonko said, 6, 7, 8 pitch at bat every time, and it's hard to strike him out. It's a pretty difficult at bat. So I mean, just to get him to roll over something or get him out is huge.
We talked about the preseason prediction for ninth in the Pac-12. Chip talked about that a little bit. He said it was in part because you guys were replacing so many position players, but you know there's still pop in this lineup. How much do you want to prove to the Pac-12 that you guys can still hit with the best of them?
Yeah, I think I know like the guys within our clubhouse have confidence in each other, and we know what we can bring to the table every night. And the media and whoever decides on those preseason honors, they might not know what we got going on in the fall or how things are looking. So I've always been taught that it's not the best team, it's the team that plays the best. And I think just bringing that mentality into every game this year, it'll give us like a chip on our shoulder and kind of try to prove these people wrong.
More questions? All right, thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.